So, so far we have learned about what is BJT and the different regions where BJT can act differently. So, and today we'll be in this video we'll be discussing about the symbolic representation of BJT and majorly about the working of the BJT. And we'll start with the symbolic representation of BJT. And as you can see, this NPN transistor being mentioned over there, that is being represented in a in the following way, where collector junction, base junction and emitter junction is written, and there is an arrow mark from base junction to emitter junction which shows the flow of current during the active region of operation. That is what the representation of arrow mark shows, and this is how the NPN transistor of BJT is represented symbolically. And this is the PNP transistor. Here the arrow mark is from the emitter region to base region. That's it. That's about the PNP transistor. And now we'll be looking about different type of BJT configurations, that is the common emitter configuration and common collector configuration and common base configuration. So how are these configurations formed? Basically, we look into it one by one, and the first one is common emitter configuration. In this configuration, emitter is common between the input and output terminals. That is, input signal is applied between base and emitter, and output signal is measured between collector and emitter. So it says that the input signal will be applied between the base and emitter, and the output signal will be measured from the collector and emitter, making the emitter common between input signal and the output signal. So in order to make emitter common between the collector and base, it will be having the common terminal over here. As you can see, it has a common terminal at the ground, and the input signal is being applied from the base terminal, and the input and the output signal will be measured in the collector region. This is about the common emitter configuration, and this is how the common emitter configuration will be represented. So yeah, and the common collector configuration. In the common collector configuration, as the term itself explains, that the collector terminal will be common for the input signal and the output measured signal. That is, in this configuration, collector is common between input and output terminal. That is, input signal will be applied between the base and the collector terminal, and the output signal will be measured between emitter and the collector terminal. And the symbolic representation is as mentioned above. As you can see, the collector terminal is made common between the input and the collector, that is base and the collector, and the output terminal where the signal will be measured is also connected to the collector terminal, which is being common to base. And that's how the common collector terminal works. And the last type of configuration is the common base configuration. In the common base configuration, the base will be made common for both collector and that is the output signal and the input signal. In this configuration, base is made common between input and output terminal, and input signal is applied between the emitter and base junction, and the output signal is measured between the collector and base junction. As you can see here, the base is made common between the emitter and base, and it is also common for base and collector, where the signal will be measured. And that's how the common base configuration is formed. And this is all about the three different configurations of BJT.